Dee 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 dee.
Hi, Imagination Band Explorers! I am so excited to be sharing with you this book today because the title is all about magic and it is magical and the pictures are so cool. This is called Possum Magic. And this is all about Australian animals and a little bit of a mystery involved. So we're going to see what kind of magic is afoot here in the land of possums. Let's see. I'll be adding all of my usual silly sound effects. Is what's my favorite thing to do with any story time. Possum Magic by Mem Fox. Once upon a time, but not very long ago, deep in the Australian bush, lived two possums. Their names were Hush and Grandma Poss. Nice treehouse. Grandma Poss made bush magic. She made wombats blue and kookaburras pink. She made dingoes smile and emus shrink. But the best magic of all was the magic that made Hush invisible. But what adventures Hush had! Because she couldn't be seen, she could be squashed by koalas. Bam! Because she couldn't be seen, she could slide down kangaroos. Because she couldn't be seen, she was safe from snakes, which is why Grandma Poss had made her invisible in the first place. But one day, quite unexpectedly, Hush said, "Grandma, I want to know what I look like. Please, could you make me visible again?" "Oh, of course I can," said Grandma Poss, and she began to look through her magic books. There they are in the stream. Grandma Poss can see herself, but Hush can't see it. No reflection. She looked into this book. She looked into that. There was magic for thin and magic for fat, magic for tall and magic for small. But the magic she was looking for wasn't there at all. Grandma Poss looked miserable. "Don't worry, Grandma," said Hush. "I don't mind." But in her heart of hearts, she did. All night long, Grandma Poss thought and thought, and the next morning, just before breakfast, she shouted, "It's something to do with food. People food, not possum food. But I can't remember what. We'll just have to try and find it." Whoosh. So later that day, they left the bush where they'd always been to find what it was that would make Hush seen. Away they go on their bicycle. They ate Anzac biscuits in Adelaide, Mornay and Minties in Melbourne, steak and salad in Sydney, and pumpkin scones in Brisbane. Hush remained invisible. "Don't lose heart," said Grandma Poss. "Let's see what we can find in Darwin." In the far north of Australia. All right, up they go. It was there, in the far north of Australia that they found a Vegemite sandwich. Grandma Poss crossed her claws and crossed her feet. Hush breathed deeply and began to eat. Oh, a tail! A tail! Shouted both possums all at once. For there it was, a brand new, visible tail. Later on a beach in Perth, they ate a piece of pavlova. Hush's legs appeared. So did her body. Oh, you look wonderful, you precious possum, said Grandma Poss. Next stop, Tasmania. And over the sea they went. In Hobart, late one night, in the kitchens of the casino, they saw a lamington on a plate. Hush closed her eyes and nibbled. Grandma Poss held her breath and waited. It's worked! It's worked! She cried, and she was right. Hush could be seen from head to tail, and Grandma Poss hugged Hush, and they both danced. Here we go round the Lamington play till early in the morning. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, rum-bum-bum-bum, rum-bum-bum-bum-bum, rum-bum-bum-bum-bum. And from that time onwards, Hush was visible. But once a year on her birthday, she and Grandma Poss ate a Vegemite sandwich, a piece of pavlova and a half a lamington, just to make sure that Hush stayed visible forever. And there they are, tucking into pavlovas, lamingtons, little cakes with coconut and chocolate, and the Vegemite sandwiches, butter and Vegemite. And she did. And there is a little echidna, which is a very small marsupial in Australia with spiky back and very, very cute. The end. Possum Magic by Mim Fox. I wonder what sort of magical potions you might discover out in your playtime today. Maybe it's something that you make in the forest or in your garden. Or maybe it's something that you eat that's a bit special, that gives you a superpower. It's fun to think about that. I hope you have a really, really fun day, and Imagination Band wishes you musical, magical creativity. Bye!
Do 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 do.